the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us. This is Ernie Johnson. Kenny Smith is here. Shaquille O'Neal. Big guy right there.
Ow.
Tonight we'll see the Miami Heat playing against the Houston Rockets. And for Houston, they've won 8 of their last 10, looking really strong. They've got to be pleased. Tonight, we'll get to see James Harden. We know how he can dominate and how he can be on offense. And Kenny, a lot of that has to do with his ability to get to the free throw line.
I agree. He keeps defenders off balance. You know, he's able to put his body into players and able to draw fouls. Nearly impossible to stop when his shot is falling.
You know, speaking of body, he remade his body to become quicker, Kenny.
Really?
And he doesn't get enough credit for how smart he is. 2 + 2 is 5, baby.
Oh.
Hey, you know who I like to quote when it comes to free throw shooting and getting to the line?
Shaq?
No.
Oh.
Dick Versace. Remember the old coach Dick Versace?
I remember. What did he
Hold
call?
on, that's how you say his last name?
Dick Versace,
He used to say what?
I thought it was Versace.
No, it's Versace.
That's another one. But
Okay,
Dick
got
Versace,
it.
Dick Versace used to call free throw shooting the NBA's hidden way to score. People don't think about it, but yeah, you get to the line, point totals add up.
It wasn't.
It's the
it
hidden
wasn't-
way to score.
It wasn't undercover.
You
in
sure
my
it's
book.
not Versace?
I think it is.
I'm pretty sure.
He has a clothing line, right?
Two teams, 2 conferences. It's a road game for the Rockets, and Houston is looking to play Texas big. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter is David Aldridge. They're just off a road trip, and the Heat are looking to settle back in here at home. And, of course, Hassan Whiteside. He's a big ticket to follow. They'll go without him, though.
And as shocked as people are that they would trade away a player of his caliber, they didn't just let him go for nothing. I mean, they got a lot in return. I think it's a deal that's going to really help them down the road.
And with pregame routines coming to an end, we're just about ready for our tip-off. First, though, let's get a report from the sideline and say hello to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, we know James Harden hits that step-back 3 a lot, and Mike D'Antoni says most coaches would think, okay, he hit a tough shot, live with it. That's some hard living. But it's one of the most lethal shots in the game. Kevin?
Yeah, with that pump fake, he can get to the free throw line too, D.A. There's just no answer. And Clark, 2 deep rosters in this one. Talk about the value of having a lot of guys on that bench, having those talented reserves.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious. One, allows you to stay fresh, to keep guys fresh. And you also get a chance, I think, to wear out the opponent with the fresh bodies that you're able to have when you've got talented reserves at your disposal.
Tip-off goes to Houston. A look at the opening lineup for the Houston Rockets. Paul and Harden are the incredible backcourt duo. P.J. Tucker is out there with Gordon, and it's Capella in at the 5 down low. Pass to Dragic. Paul with the steal. Here's Harden, and the jam by Harden.
Whenever CP3 gets his hands on the ball, you know he's going to turn it up court right away. He loves initiating the break.
Dragic the pass to Winslow. And Capella sends it back, but they'll get another chance. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Dragic. The 19-footer is on the money. About a minute played so far here in the first. Paul surveying the floor. And so the ball's out of bounds. Winslow touched it last. And how about a look at the most recent power rankings? Very telling, even though, guys, we're just still in December. You look at the Rockets. They couldn't hold their position this week, but remain in the top 10.
And right now for Miami, they're sort of cemented in this spot right now. Playing decent basketball, but not quite well enough to make up any ground and get into that next tier.
Dragic the pass to Adebayo, and he stuffs it. What a pass to set him up.
Well, I'll tell you what, his vertical is awesome, off the charts. A short center who still makes his presence felt.
And here's Harden for 3. It's Adebayo with the rebound. The Heat have gone 2 of 3 here to start off the game. Dragic against Paul. Butler kicks to Winslow, and it's good. 2 points.
Well, you see what you have here. I mean, the unselfishness of Butler, an often unsung trait of his.
Rockets have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Pass to Harden. The 3. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Harden's got 5.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
For Miami, they've gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Dragic at the elbow. Johnson outside. Gordon against Winslow. And there's another one for the Heat.
Gotta like how they've come out here. I mean, connecting on 4 of their first 5 shots, yes, that's good.
The drive by Paul. And Chris Paul still looking for his first title. This Rockets team represents his best shot, Clark, but last year they couldn't quite get it done.
Well, the big reason for that, Kevin, was the fact that Chris Paul was unable to play in Games 6 and 7 against Golden State. He was so instrumental in key moments throughout that series. Had they had him in Games 6 and 7, I think they very well could have been playing for a championship last year.
2 shots.
Free throw good, Paul.
You know, it's funny, guys. I'm still not sure that Chris Paul gets enough credit for just how special he is as a player. I'm not sure why that is. I mean, very few players in league history have been able to impact the game at both ends of the floor at his elite level.
And so Paul nails both of them.
And Chris Paul, very much one of the best and most talented point guards in the league. A really poised floor leader who always is talking and is really an excellent leader too.
Winslow against Gordon. Good work there as it goes. And it's 6 points for Justice Winslow. And you look at Chris Paul's numbers, they stack up to any point guard that's ever played the game. Clark, what do you think is the most underrated part of Chris Paul's game?
Well, I would think it would be his defense and his perimeter shooting. I don't think he gets the credit for being the perimeter shooter he is, but defense would stand out to me.
Here's Dragic following the basket by Chris Paul. Left side, Butler. Back to Winslow. Pass to Butler. Over Harden. Butler, no good.
Tell you what, Kevin, they will take that look every time. Limited defense, great shot. Just came up empty. You live with those.
Now here's Gordon. He's coming off a 10-point game against Washington.
Yeah, passed the ball well that last time out. Pinpoint passes and racked up a bunch of assists.
4 on the shot clock. And the dunk by Capella.
How about the force from Clint Capella? When he's got good position inside, he's throwing it down.
Last outing for Miami, it was a loss to the Pelicans.
And they couldn't get stops when they needed to. The opposition just too comfortable shooting the basketball.
Well, you know what, Greg? When the defense is that lax, come on now. They honestly deserve to lose. You can't let a team get into that kind of a groove.
Now here's Harden following the missed shot by James Johnson. Takes the 3. And again, it's the Rockets from deep.
You know, the confidence Harden has in his three-point shot, especially that step back that he shoots, is just mind-boggling. He loves letting it fly from deep.
Now here's Winslow. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Pelicans in New Orleans.
And it was not a one-man show. That was the best part. He had just as good a game with his passing as he did with his scoring.
Paul against Dragic. Paul right side. That one goes in. Paul's got 6.
And we know Paul's not the biggest guy in the league, far from it, but that does not stop him from finding ways to score inside.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game. Well, for those teams already expected Clark to go deep into the playoffs around this time of year, how easy do you think it is to just go through the motions and maybe not tighten the screws as much as you should?
Yeah, you know, Kevin, I never had the experience of being a player on a playoff team, but I did broadcast a number of the outstanding Pacers teams, and it is tough in the long haul of the season for teams that are fighting for potential championships. to stay engaged fully during the regular season. There is a period, and I think most really good teams will admit it, that they aren't as focused because they're excited for the playoffs to start, and they just have to work themselves through those dog days of the regular season.
And we're seeing some great ball movement out of this group, guys.
For the Houston Rockets, they come in off the loss to Washington.
Yeah, that was more than just a tough loss. That was a complete embarrassment.
Yeah, the woodshed is what we call that. They annihilated them, simply had no answers for how to slow them down.
Nene. The shot off that time. 80 that time from Leonard. Here's Butler. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
On these drives, the athleticism and strength of Butler really shows up. The defense just not able to react quick enough.
And he's got his first free throw of the game.
And, you know, guys, he had a big game at the free throw line in their last outing.
Matter of fact, a lot of his points came from the stripe. He was feeling it. Guys, I like that this is a part of his game that has really been consistent this year.
The first one falls.
You know, you look at most winning teams in this league, and there's no denying they have an identity, who they are and how they play consistently. The Rockets fall into that category, a defined style of play and pieces that fit pretty well.
Rivers, he's checked in for Houston. And so Butler nails both of them. And Clark, talk about the Rockets' identity, their style of play.
Yeah, it's all about the analytics, quite honestly. They're looking for drives and three-point field goals. Constant pressure on the defense. The long-range ball spaces the floor, and defensively they're going to try to switch and keep the ball in front and deny the same three-pointers they're looking for at their offensive end from the opposition.
And a lot of scoring here early on. This is the type of game the fans love to see.
Tell you what, Greg, it's getting to the point where you assume every shot is going to go down. I mean, nobody's missing out there.
Now here's Butler. 20 points for him last game against New Orleans.
And you know what? In that last game, he was also all over the place on defense, mucking up the passing lanes and getting all kinds of steals, too.
Here's Paul. Dion Waiters making his last shot. Over Waiters. Paul can't get it to go. Green against Butler.
And now let's take a moment to check out the stats for Green. How last month turned out for him, averaging about 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And you look at those numbers, not bad, but guys, I think he can do better, and he knows it.
And he has high expectations for himself as well, guys, but he just hasn't delivered fully on his potential yet.
And that one falls, and that puts him up by 1 point.
You know, Butler came into the NBA a tad under the radar. I mean, he was the last pick of the first round back in 2011. Didn't play much at first, but once he got his opportunity, his career took off and took off fast.
Shumpert is checked in for Paul. And so Butler nails both of them. And it's Rivers with the ball. He brings it up for the Rockets. Green draws the double. He feeds it to Nene. Shumpert against Waiters. They get it back. And Fareed kicks to Green. Rockets keep it going with the new 24-second clock. Got him up in the air with the pump fake and then took advantage. Nene's got it all tied up now for the Rockets. Wade feeling it out a bit. Inside, it's stolen by Iman Shumpert. And now here's Rivers, the fast break opportunity.
And the defense to start that play was terrific. I love the fact that they attacked early in the shot clock.
Shumpert against Wade. Kicks to Waiters. Wade outside. 6 on the shot clock. Miami needs to get a shot off. Three-pointer. Butler. Offensive rebound. Leonard. Stolen by Fareed. Down low. Butler with the steal. And again, the turnover by the Heat. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out east already. We are in December. You take a look at the Celtics. And not a surprise, really, to see them sitting there in that #1 spot in the conference. The excellent brand of basketball they've been putting on display lately has been terrific. And, of course, the Heat, 6.5 games behind them.
And right now for Miami, this hasn't been the breakout season that many were predicting, but they're still very much in the hunt for a high postseason seed, and that will keep them focused here during the season's final stages.
And they need to stay focused. I mean, they have to ensure they hang on to a high seed. It's imperative for them.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets. We always talk about the need for front court players who can both shoot and defend along the perimeter. Clark, if you're taking that in mind, who would you point to as the prototype for the new school big?
Well, I think the guy with the most potential in that regard is Joel Embiid. I mean, he's agile. He's got a nice touch. He's got three-point range. He's got post-up ability. And I think he can become an impactful defender because of his physical attributes. So he would be the poster guy for me in terms of the potential prototype for the new school big.
Here's Wade. The Rockets making the shot. And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession. Four on the clock. Robinson kicks to Wade. Here's the three. And it's Rivers with the rebound.
Well, I think that was clearly a force. He was a little anxious. Too much in a hurry right there.
Takes a three. And again, it's the Rockets from deep.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Yeah, they're lasered in. I mean, really making the most of their possessions.
Now here's Waiters. Outside Robinson. To the middle. Here's Wade to stop the drought. And it's good on the layup.
And you got to like the touch there from Wade inside. A polished interior scorer who knows how to get to his sweet spot.
Green against Robinson. Shumpert gets a wide open look. Off target from three-point range. The Heat trail by 5. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Robinson, that's good.
D. Wade with an excellent pass there.
Houston's gone 3 of 5 from three-point land so far in the ballgame. Outside Shumpert. Rivers against Waiters. Out to Shumpert. And that's going to be too many steps. Gets the whistle on the travel. A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for the Heat.
And clearly this is a squad that makes its living in the paint. Very few teams are as determined to get the ball inside as much as they are. They aren't going to settle for jump shots. They're going to continue to pound it down low.
Now here's Wade. He's coming off a 16-point game against New Orleans.
Yeah, passed the ball well that last time out. Pinpoint passes and racked up a bunch of assists.
Fareed against Leonard. Over Shumpert. Shumpert with some nice D. Rockets leading by 3. And finished off by Shumpert.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
And, guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Green taking his time here. There's the pass to Fareed. Houston needs to get a shot off. Lets it go with a 3. It's rebounded by Leonard. Leonard's got 4 rebounds in this game. Wade from outside. And it's Wade again missing. And here's Green. He'll bring it up for the Houston Rockets. 3-point lead. And Wade sends it back.
I'll tell you what, Wade's one of the best in the history of the game as a shot blocker from the two-guard position, using his athleticism to leap up and turn shots away. Man, you like this intelligence he plays with. You got to respect that. Gets to his spots and scores efficiently.
So it's Miami now, following the three by Houston that won. Waiters finds Leonard, and Fareed sends it back.
Hey, the terrific instincts and timing that Fareed has, coupled with his reach, that lets him block a lot of shots.
And it's Haslam with the rebound. Robinson for three. The Rockets pull it in. Nene's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Tipped away, and it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Waiters. From deep 3-point range, and so it's Houston with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. They've set the tone. They love their tempo. They're going to be very tough to stop. We'll get right back to the action when we return. You learn about Jimmy Butler, difficult journey to where he is now. But one thing always got him through.
Basketball, that's that. It always took my mind off everything. It always made me smile. I had no cares in the world when I was shooting.
Boy, you hear that so often, don't you, Greg? Between those lines can be an escape from the outside world.
And in the end, Butler's obsession became his escape. Maybe why he remained so devoted to the game.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter in this one. And let's take a moment, guys, to get your take on the scoring so far for Houston.
Boy, the three-point shot has really been dropping for him early on.
And that's what's created a rhythm for them offensively. That's also why you see them knocking down that mid-range jump shot.
And so in the game for the Rockets, Harden out there with Rivers. Then there's Gordon. Then it's P.J. Tucker. And it's Capella in at the 5. Now here's Johnson. 12 points his last outing. 6 on the shot clock. Dishes it to Robinson. The kick out to Dragic, and out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession. And James Harden taking home the MVP award in 2018, and Clark, well deserved.
It sure was, Kevin. A career mark in scoring a league-high 30 points a game. The first player ever to drop 60 points as part of a triple-double. It certainly was his year.
And the Rockets making a change here. Paul's checked in. Count that one. Paul's got 10.
You know, I don't care how tight you play him. It's very hard to keep Paul from knocking that shot down. His in-between game is lethal.
Winslow kicks to Johnson. Clark, you once worked for the Indiana Pacers, vice president, player relations, and really had your fingerprints on a lot of part of that organization. Could you see yourself going back to an NBA front office role?
I don't anticipate that. I love what I do as a broadcaster. I really feel as though I'm right where God wants me to be. Currently had a wonderful tenure with the Pacers, 32 years between playing, broadcasting both radio and television, then 4 years in the VP of player relations role. Phenomenal relationships with a number of people, but no, I think that chapter for me is in the rearview mirror.
I speak for everyone playing the game, watching the game. We're glad you're in broadcasting, I'll tell you that.
Thank you, partner.
Rockets leading by 7. Harden with it. He had a 36-point outing in the last game against Washington.
And you could see he knew exactly where that long rebound was coming off, able to get there quickly and snatch it up.
It's deflected. It's stolen by Johnson. On the wing, Winslow. Defended by Gordon. Offensive rebound. Second chance shot. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow. And it's Justice Winslow with the foul. That's his first foul. Jimmy Butler, he's checked in for Robinson. Two minutes now played in the second quarter. Paul kicks it to Tucker. Passes it to Capella. Back to Tucker. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. Tucker's got the lead up to 9 now for Houston. The Heat have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. Ball against Butler over Paul. And he overshot that one, missing. And it's Harden with the ball for the Houston Rockets. And the lead now, double digits on that bucket. Harden's got 10 points.
His shooting has been outstanding here. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
Now a timeout called by Miami.
You know, James Harden, the leading isolation scorer in the league for the last 3 years plus. He's taken it to a whole new level, almost 12 points a game in isolation in 2018. And his efficiency, the best in the game, is off the charts.
And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Winslow, the pass to Butler. Back to Winslow. He kicks it to Dragic. They grab their own miss. That's good. The Houston lead is cut down to 9 in the bucket from Winslow.
And you just hate to give up those second chance points.
Yeah, those are back crushers. I mean, they really crack your back when you give teams second shots like that.
Now here's Paul. He's got 10. And Harden with the basket on the assist by Paul. 13 points in the game. And it's interesting, isn't it? Isolation, one-on-one basketball has lost favor league-wide, but Harden flips that logic on its head.
Yeah, it can still be a little frustrating to watch at times, Kevin, but it reminds me a bit of the way that Steph Curry changed the definition of a good shot, his deep range and marksmanship from long distance. Now more and more players are shooting it from that deep. Harden is changing the definition of a good possession because he's just so talented at making the toughest shots look easy.
Here is Harden following the score by James Johnson. Some solid defense from Butler.
Yeah, good interior D there prevents the deuce.
And, you know, that's not easy at all. When guys get this close to the bucket, it's tough to stop the basket.
Now here's Gordon. Justice Winslow missing his last shot. Gordon dishes to Capella. Here's Tucker. Johnson with the block. Pushing it up. Here's Dragic. That one falls. His second basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3.
Being aware there, excellent recognition, fantastic playmaking leading to the nice shot.
Ball finds Harden. Paul against Dragic. Shoots from 12. The Rockets with another miss. The Heat trail by 8. Pass to Johnson. Some nice ball movement here by the Heat. Up and in, off to an efficient start. 2 for 3 from the field.
He's really starting to ramp it up now, getting involved in the offense here after being held without a point in the first.
Pass to Tucker. Capella, high post. Gordon deciding where to go with it. Down to 5 on the shot clock. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
I love what Capella brings to the game. Tough, physical, strong, relentless. Got to respect what he does on these contact finishes.
Now here's Butler. Right now, checking his stats, he's averaging over 23 points a game. Here's Paul. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. And now a 10-point Rocket lead. Timeout called the Heat.
And he could tell his guys were dragging a little bit, calling timeout to kind of let them catch their breath.
Waiters, he's checked in for the Heat. And the Rockets making a change here as well. Nene, he's checked in for P.J. Tucker. The Heat have gotten exactly half their shots to go down here in the second, 5 of 10. And Butler, here we go. That one drops for him. Butler's got 6 points.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Now here's Harden. 13 points in the game. Yes, that goes in. Nene's got his second basket of the game.
Well, that's exactly what's been happening here. Where's the focus? Where's the intensity? Where's the resilience? Where's the energy? From the defenders, all of that is absent.
Johnson against Capella. Butler in the corner. That's good, and it's Johnson with the assist. And that's now 9 points for Jimmy Butler.
And Butler knows he's got the green light to shoot whenever he wants to, especially when it's a catch-and-shoot situation.
Yes, that goes in. 14 points for Chris Paul. And it's Butler with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Heat. 9-point game. And this is the first season matchup for them against this Rockets team.
Yeah, interconference matchup. Two teams that'll see each other only twice on the schedule.
Yeah, and Greg, this is a big game for both teams. I mean, they don't see each other often, and you know they both want to get a win in this one.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
Houston making some changes. Kenneth Faried, he's checked in for Clint Capella. Gerald Green comes in for Gordon, and it's Iman Shumpert in for Paul. Now here's Nene. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. The 3 from Harden. He can't hit that time. And it's Miami the other way. Adebayo kicks to Winslow. Waiters outside, inside, stolen by Faried. Here's the break. Pulls up for 3. That's good from Shumpert on the assist by Harden. He has 5.
And, you know, when you get a clean look at the rim, Harden usually will find you. I think he's underrated and undervalued at making his teammates better.
Now here's Johnson. He has 6. Raiders on the wing, guarded by Harden. Johnson outside, 4 on the clock. Winslow kicks to Butler. Trying to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. And the pass to Shumpert over Johnson. Shumpert, no good.
And he's just a tough defender. Good positioning to get after that shot.
Did a good job guarding the mid-range, extended out nicely, and definitely bothered the shot.
Now here's Waiters, and the foul on Harden. That's his first foul, so both teams making some changes here. And Miami has possession, down by 12. Butler kicks to Waiters. Shot clock at 6. And Faried sends it back. Passes it to Rivers. And it's sent back by Leonard. Shumpert against Wade. He dishes it to Leonard. Back to Wade, over Shumpert. Another miss, and they've really hit a rough patch here. Pass to Green. Butler with the steal. Here's Wade, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. And it's going to go on Iman Shumpert.
Man, the confidence and flair that Wade plays with, uniquely his own. A dynamite 2-guard who is also a clutch performer.
The Heat have made all of their free throws so far tonight, going 6 for 6.
And it's been an average year, really, at the free throw line for this group, only around 75%.
And guys, you know what? That's made things hard for them in a lot of their games. I mean, that inability to convert their chances at the free throw line.
First free throw is good.
And getting to the line and hitting your free throws, a good way to get back into the game. It stops the clock and extends the game and allows you the opportunity to set your defense. They've been perfect from the line so far here in the second quarter.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Ware's checked in. Robinson is subbed in for Butler. Both free throws good from Wade. Rockets leading by 10. Outside, Green. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. Here's what Miami has lined up on their schedule. On Saturday, they'll take on Chris Middleton and the Milwaukee Bucks. And then on Sunday, they'll begin a long road trip starting in Orlando and going up against the Magic.
And for that Raptors game, they have that date circled. They love to compete, and they feel they can play very well against that group if they can execute.
And the Heat making a change here. Cook's checked in. Both free throws good from Green.
Well, I tell you what, like how cool and collected he was getting the job done at the line in this one.
Wade passes to Waiters. Back to Wade. Kicks it to Cook. Over Fareed. Clock at 4. Some solid defense from Fareed.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take advantage.
Adebayo is checked in for Cook. Shumpert against Wade. Shumpert, no good.
This has been a rough, turbulent outing for him so far. Fortunately, the rest of his team has bailed him out.
Waiters on the wing. He's guarded by Rivers. It's good, and the Rocket lead is cut down to just 10 points with the bucket from Waiters.
Now there's something for the top 10 highlight reel right there. A layup can be just as sweet and as pretty as a dunk sometimes.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
And from the line, he's knocking it down about 71% of the time, and that's a percentage that needs to go up.
You know, his free throw percentage has dropped this year, but not really enough to raise any red flags or to become alarmed about
it. And so Green will bring it up for Houston. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. Got it. And he's now 3 for 5 from the field.
Indicative of what we've seen tonight. One team being the aggressor, the other failing to react.
Yeah, and you can tell they feel like they can get inside whenever they want to. I mean, it's been carte blanche, full menu for them, and the defense really not offering any resistance.
Wade. Here's Adebayo. And the shot is good. Adebayo's got 6 points.
The tenacity on that interior, just battling, bringing that effort and will for second chance points.
Nene kicks to Fareed. To the inside, stolen by Waiters. Shumpert against Wade. We'll get a moment now to view the league's stingiest defenses. The Heat in 5th.
This is a team that takes pride on the defensive side of the floor. I mean, they play hard and they play together. They are a tough group to score on.
He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the game right here.
And so far this season, it's been average at best at the line, only 71% as a shooter.
He's off on the first.
You know, he didn't get to the line in that entire first quarter. But right now, he's showing some aggressiveness out there.
Jimmy Butler, he's checked in for the Heat. And the Rockets making a change here as well. Davis is checked in. The open shot, Shumpert. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. Shumpert's got his 3rd basket of the night right there. And Waiters kicks to Wade. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
And when he takes it inside, the points are going to come, whether like that possession or just getting to the line.
And Miami making a change here. Dragic is checked in. Edwards, he's checked in for the Rockets. Wade, no good on the free throw.
Obviously, I mean, it would go a long way if he's making his shots. Right now, they're behind, and they certainly could use his help.
The Heat trail by 9. Takes the 13-footer, and that one's good by Butler. Butler's got 11 points.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
And just not able to find the target from three-point range here in the second quarter, although he did knock down one in the first.
Wade finds Dragic. That three off the mark. The Rockets shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. And he makes the first. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
Boy, it certainly appears to be the case, Greg. I mean, they've spent a lot of time at the foul line this quarter, and that's the result of attacking the rim and being physical.
Wade passes to Leonard. Shoots over Tucker. That one's not going to go.
That's a good shot. Even though it couldn't find the bottom of the bucket, I like the shot quality.
And so we wrap up the first half. Rockets lead by 9. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Coach, what has to happen to pull out the win?
Well, we have to play through some of the tough times, okay, whether it's a missed call or whether missed shots. This is a passionate game, and we got to stay the course.
We'll see what happens. Thanks, Bo. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, it's good to have you back. You're watching the 2K Sports Halftime Show. This right here is Kenny the Jet Smith. This right here is Shaquille O'Neal. Me, I'm just Ernie. Chris Paul has been the story in this one. He had 14 points, 3 assists, and 1 steal. What'd you think, Shaq, about the first half we saw from the Rockets?
I don't think anyone expected to see such numbers from the bench. You know, I'm impressed. It was what they needed, the jolt they needed, Ernie. Wow, I never knew their bench. As a matter of fact, I don't even know any of their players coming off the bench. Man, keep going, bench guys.
Kenny, what'd you think about Miami?
Well, look, they turned the ball over way too much. You can't do that in the NBA. Teams are just too talented. You can't give them that many possessions. Don't give away the entire game just by giving up an extra few possessions here and there. These guys need to come with more precision in the second half.
That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks. Thanks
Goodbye,
for
folks.
joining us. Third quarter, just about ready to begin.
And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books. 1 half to go. It's been a clinic by Chris Paul.
His points production thus far off the charts. It's only been 2 quarters. Just a great effort for him for the entire half.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter where he is on the floor either, Greg. He's making it look very easy. He's looking to score the ball.
And happy you could join us. We've got 2 quarters left to go in regulation. The Heat trail by 9. Well, we've got a moment. Let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. On the floor for Miami, they've got Dragic. Adebayo is out there with Johnson. Then it's Justice Winslow, and it's Butler in at the 2-guard spot. 6 on the shot clock. Johnson kicks to Dragic. And it's off from 3-point range. There's the call on James Johnson. That is his first foul of the game. Houston leading by 9. Harden finds Paul. Capella bounce pass. Tucker the pass to Harden. Pass to Paul. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. Harden's got 4 assists now tonight.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
Yeah, that's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yep, he was on the money, that's no doubt. And it's Harden with the ball for Houston. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. here in this third quarter, just over a minute play. Paul against Dragic. That shot no good. The Heat trail by 9. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession.
And a quick review, looking at some numbers here for Jimmy Butler. Averaging 23 points per game, just over 3 steals and 4 assists. And you know, pretty terrific numbers across the board.
Yeah, so many books in his library. He lights up the scoreboard on a nightly basis.
Now here's Johnson. He's got 6. Butler in the corner. Shot clock at 6. Good. Butler's got 13.
You know, you look at Butler's numbers. Every year he's been in the league, he's improved as a scorer. He knows how to get to his spots and then deliver.
Butler against Harden. Over Butler. From 13 feet, it goes down. And the Rockets lead by 9.
And I love the momentum he's building. Last game, he was just as dominant.
Yeah, I concur. I mean, definitely on the roll right now. Seems like everything he's throwing up is going down.
Now here's Winslow. 8 points for him. Gets it to go. That one good from Adebayo.
Man, he's got such a great touch and feel around the basket. He made that reverse look easy.
Rockets leading by 7. Harden with it. Butler covering. Harden kicks to Paul. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. 19 points for Chris Paul.
Their second half has started quite well. They've been good on 3 of their first 4 attempts.
Timeout called, the Heat. You look at Chris Paul, what a contribution.
Yeah, he's just torching them right now. A good decision to huddle up, kind of hit the reset button and figure out how to slow his roll.
Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. We'll take a look at the Warriors. And not a surprise, really, to see them sitting there in that #1 spot in the conference. The excellent brand of basketball they've been putting on display lately has been terrific. And, of course, there's the Rockets, 8 games out.
And, you know, Houston, this hasn't been the breakout season that many were predicting, but they're still very much in the hunt for a high postseason seed. And that will keep them focused here during the season's final stages.
And they need to stay focused. I mean, they have to ensure they hang on to a high seed. It's imperative for them. Boy, and Clint Capella, C-squared, a late first-round pick in 2014, viewed by most as a project, but the analytics community ranked him highly. No surprise then that the Rockets snapped him up and they got a steal. They love the analytics approach in Houston.
Here's Butler. James Harden picking up that last basket. Johnson inside. Guarded by Tucker from past the arc. And that's a foul called on Bam Adebayo. That'll be his second foul of the game. Myers Leonard, he's checked in for Bam Adebayo. Rockets leading by 12. Now a timeout called by Houston. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated. Now let's see the stat sheet here on Chris Paul. The last 10 or so games, he has been remarkable. 3rd in assists, and he's in the top 5 in the league in steals. Those hands are like meat hooks. Not much gets by him.
And as you mentioned, top 3 in assists right now. He does a great job of running the offense, spotting the open guy, and making the sound delivery.
And defensively, great anticipation, making a play there on the ball.
Well, the thing they did there, Greg, clogged up the passing lanes, playing them beautifully and making things hard for the opponent. That's really good defense.
Capella kicks to Paul. To the paint, Gordon, and the rejection by Leonard. Butler dishes to Winslow. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Butler's got 3 assists in the game.
Worked that one inside nicely.
Rockets leading by 10. Here's Harden. Good for his 8th field goal. He's attempted a dozen shots.
In addition to his strength, Harden has deceptive quickness. He just has this unique knack to get by whoever's guarding him because he's strong and crafty.
Now here's Leonard. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Here's Butler. Banked in off the glass.
No doubt about it. He has done a ton to help his team, but he's going to have to do even more if they want to have a chance to get back in this one.
Paul against Dragic. The pass to Harden. And it's Harden slamming it down.
And Harden, an absolutely vicious dunker. Terrific at bouncing towards the rim for the epic throwdown.
That instant replay brought to you by Under Armour Hover Havoc, giving us a chance to relive the unleashing of chaos that time. Now here's Butler. 15 points in the game. It'll go. The Rocket lead is cut down now to just 10 points with that basket from Leonard.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Here is Harden. And another three for Houston.
Three-pointers are killing them at this point, and they haven't been able to respond at the other end.
Yeah, and Greg, you know, the only way that's going to turn around defensively is by stopping the outside shot, not getting into a shootout. They're not going to out-shoot out this team. You know, even though he's been on, they still are behind. I mean, there's only so much he can do.
Tipped away. The three. Rebound by the Heat. Butler's got his 5th rebound in this one.
Hey, you got to put a body on Capella. I mean, he's a tenacious offensive rebounder and does a nice job using his body.
Wayne Wade's checked in for Miami. Dion Waiters comes in for Goran Dragic. Nene, he's checked in for Houston. Gerald Green comes in for Eric Gordon. Now here's Waiters. He has 5. To the middle, here's Wade. Leonard inside, Nene on him, and they pick up 2.
Nice job getting inside for the layup. Got the D thinking, jump shot, gave a little pump fake, and then off to the races.
To the middle. Leonard kicks to Wade. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. That's 10 points for Dwayne Wade.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Well, the defensive rotations, Greg, have been a step slow, and it's really helped them get that ball inside time after time.
It's good from long range.
And you can see the play calling this half. Another one from distance.
Well, they're dialed in, locked and loaded from outside the arc. It's all about the triple so far.
Now here's Waiters. Now Winslow, rebounded by Capella. Capella's got 6 rebounds in the game. Wade against Harden. Lets the 3 fly. Kept alive by Houston. Paul, no one around him. Knocks down the 3 ball. Paul's got 25 points in the game.
You know, the more of these threes Paul hits, the more dangerous he becomes as a passer, and he hits his fair share of those threes.
Wade finds Waiters, and it's Leonard at the elbow. Wade outside, Butler in the corner, and they come right back with their own 3-pointer. Butler's got 9 points now in just the second half. Paul against Waiters. The drive by Paul. On the wing, Green. Misses the 3. The Heat trail by 13. Leonard the pass to Wade. Trying to get open is Butler. The shot will not fall. Good work defensively by Capella. And the foul on Dwayne Wade. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Houston making some changes. Kenneth Faried's checked in for Harden. And it's Rivers in for Paul. And it's Justice Winslow with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. We know Clark fans want to see star players. It's been a hot topic around the league. The league has added rules, in fact, that now prohibit resting guys on certain nights.
Yeah, I think that's important, that players have a real understanding of their responsibility. I understand trying to balance the rest versus the wear and tear of the course. So that's another reason I propose a shorter season. I don't think you'd end up with this kind of controversy or debate. But I thought the league was right in requiring, I mean, your responsibility is to play all the games you're available to play unless you're injured. And I think it's important that guys take that responsibility seriously. And it's a responsibility they have to themselves, to the team, the organization, and the fans.
Now a timeout called by Houston.
And he could tell his guys starting to wear down a little bit. Called time to just let them get their legs back under them.
Adebayo is checked in for Miami. And a brief moment now to see who's atop the NBA in team free throws. The Rockets fourth.
You know, it's really a team-wide talent. You want a foul to stop layups, but against them, you're not saving much. They'll make you pay time and again.
Gordon kicks to Rivers. Here's Nene. The dunk and the foul. A powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. That's on Dwayne Wade.
Terrific timing on that pass, placing it in a great spot, ideal spot where his teammate could score.
Inside, stolen by Nene. Here's Fareed, and Fareed throws it down.
It's one of the things Fareed does best, throwing it down. He's an impressive athlete with great power, too.
Wade gets the bucket.
Yeah, those shots are taken totally in rhythm, high percentage quality shots, and really getting whatever he wants.
Here's Rivers after the made shot from Dwayne Wade. Passes it to Gordon. To the paint. Nene finds Fareed. 5 on the clock. Goes up from the top of the key. Hits the front of the rim and out.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
Waiters dishes to Wade. And that one drops for him. Wade's got 16.
Really, really good at recognizing the gaps and getting the ball to the rim.
Outside, Green. Rivers against Waiters. And Rivers with the basket on the assist by Green. Green's got his third assist on the night. Here's Butler. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And there's the foul against Houston.
Well, you got to stay grounded on that pump fake. Butler really effective at getting the defender to jump into his space.
James Harden, he's checked in for Rivers. And he sinks the second. And it's Harden with the ball for the Rockets. Earlier in the game, they had a 19-point lead. And that's a foul called on Bam Adebayo. That's his third foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2. And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Rockets?
You know, with their fast break operating so efficiently, I mean, you can see why they've gone with it throughout the game.
Yeah, and another thing, they've created a lot of turnovers, but they've also been able to convert when they've gotten down in transition.
And, you know, the Beard continues to impress, continues to get better, and MVP candidate seemingly every season. Now, I got a question, though. How does he maintain the look of that beard?
Here is Harden. 26 points for him. And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
I don't think there's anybody better than Harden at converting through contact. Superb in that area because he's crafty, he's strong, and he's skilled.
Now, here's Wade. He's got 18. And count it, the shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
He's simply a machine at the offensive end. I wonder how far behind they'd be if he wasn't having this kind of quarter.
The Heat have made 10 of their 14 tries at the free throw line in the game. On the free throw, no good. Rockets leading by 16. Here's Green. Goes back up. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
And here's a look at numbers for Wade. How last month turned out for him. He's right around 13 points a night, 5 assists, and 2 rebounds. And some pretty good numbers, guys. He's certainly making a contribution.
Better than expected. He still has a ways to go. I like what I'm seeing right now. Of course, he didn't have an attempt there in the first half. He's hoping to be a little bit more active and aggressive here and draw some fouls here in the second.
Now, here's Butler. 23 points in the game. Leonard with the bucket.
Don't think you're going to get a better look than that, and it's Butler who makes it possible with an excellent feed.
Harden the pass to Green. 52 seconds left in the third quarter. And the foul on Dwayne Wade. That will get him his 4th foul of the game, and due to the bonus, we'll head to the line for 2.
Oh, no, he's the last guy you want to put on the line. You can just about book the points every time he steps up there.
And some changes here for the Heat. Johnson comes in for Leonard. And it's Dragic in for Dwayne Wade. And a switch here also for Houston. P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for Kenneth Faried. Dragic gets the bucket.
Well, you really can't get too upset at the defense there. I mean, they were there, but just not good enough to prevent the mid-range jumper from falling.
Harden with it. Now guarded by Dragic. Tucker. The Rockets with another miss. The Heat trail by 16. Butler kicks to Johnson. Here's Waiters. Green with the rebound. And for Houston, their shooting has just been outstanding tonight. 56% as a team in this game. Count it. Good. Gordon's got 5 now.
And after really leaning on that three-point shot in the first half, seeming like they're just getting away from it here in the second. More of the shots coming from the interior.
Stolen by Harden, and the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Harden. Here's Butler. From deep. No good on that one. James Harden getting it done for the Houston Rockets. And his big game just keeps getting bigger. That quarter sees him get over 30 points. Back to the action after this word. And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Yeah, and with the accuracy to go along with that vision. I mean, he put the ball in the absolute perfect spot. That's how you orchestrate it.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. Houston leading by 18. Taking a look at the Rockets. The engine of this team, Paul and Harden in the backcourt. Gordon out there with P.J. Tucker. Then it's Nene in at the center. Harden's shot is good.
I'll tell you, he's beating up the defense in this quarter, going right at him and scoring in a variety of ways.
Dragic finds Butler. Clark, we know of your involvement with college basketball, calling the Final Four. College teams occasionally change conferences here in the NBA. There's talk of eliminating conferences altogether.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a bit of a traditionalist here. I'm open to change, but I think there would need to be more rationale behind the change than what I've heard or read. So I think keeping it the way it is fine. So that tradition aspect of it is what I'm hanging my hat on. Anytime you try to manipulate matchups, though, to me, is walking down the wrong road. So, in my opinion, we should stay with the conferences for now.
I like that thought. And here is Waiters after Eric Gordon hit the three. Here's Dragic. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good.
And I respect the craftiness and savvy of Dragic. I mean, when he gets positioned deep inside, he finds a way to score.
Timeout called the Rockets.
And he could tell his guys were dragging a little bit, calling timeout to kind of let them catch their breath.
And the Heat making a change here. Winslow's checked in. Here is Harden. About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. And he gets it to go as they call the foul. He's on his way to the line for one more.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Now here's Butler. Here's Winslow. No good off the back of the rim.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it, gritty and rough. But that's how you win games.
How about that one? Able to maintain control and finish the play.
Yeah, we call that playing through the whistle. You know, he didn't give up on it when he heard the whistle. He kept his focus, his concentration, and he found a way to get the shot up and down.
One shot.
You know, every coach talks about playing team basketball, Clark. When it comes to the fans, they really come out to see the stars. What do you think is the psychology behind that?
Well, I think fans enjoy elite players and great talent across any sport. But they also recognize that team play is critical to winning. So I think it's a combination. Fans, I think we've got to give them a little more credit. Sure, they want to see the stars play, but they want to win, and they know to win, teams have to be about team basketball, not just highlighting and enjoying the stars.
And the shot is good.
Really like how he used his body, got outstanding position on the boards, and then maximized it.
Houston leading by 23. For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Floats it up for Davis. It's tipped. Butler on the wing. Guarded by Shumpert. And Butler gets it to go on the assist by Dragic. And that's now 25 points for Butler.
He's flipped the script here in this half, shooting a much higher percentage from the field.
And Shumpert kicks to Davis. Here's Paul. Dragic with some nice D.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Ball's knocked loose, and that'll be Miami as it goes out of bounds. The Heat retain possession. Houston with a big group substitution here. And Miami has possession. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot two here. It's going to be on James Harden.
And Dragic came into the NBA with something on his resume that not many other rookies have. He has a ring from winning the Slovenian Pro League the year before he came to America.
And Goran Dragic drops them both. And so here is Houston. Earlier in the game, they held a 25-point lead. Butler against Harden. Paul outside. Up top, Capella. And that's a foul called on Bam Adebayo. That will be foul number 5 on him. On the wing, Harden over Butler.
Man, I love the defensive Butler. Always going to give you his best effort at that end of the floor. He uses his length, his size, his strength, and his speed to bother shooters.
Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Tucker the pass to Paul. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Shoots over Dragic. The Rockets again can't hit. And it's Dragic bringing up the ball for the Heat. Trailing by 19. Next up on the docket, the Bucks following this one. And that game is the second of 2 straight at home. Paul kicks to Gordon. Misses the 3.
Oh, man, you know he'd love to have that one over.
And Butler, here we go. Harden with the defensive effort. Rockets leading by 19 points. Here's Gordon. The rebound by Johnson. Johnson's got his 8th rebound here tonight. For Miami, they've gotten just under 45% of their attempts to drop in the fourth. 4 of 9. Winslow against Gordon. Winslow dishes to Butler. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's going to be on James Harden.
Boy, it's really hard trying to contain Butler. He's so strong and aggressive and has good ball skills. He excels at drawing contact on the way up.
He doesn't get the second one. Houston's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc since the final quarter's gotten underway. Harden kicks to Gordon. And Clint Capella is going to pick up a foul. That's his first foul. The Heat trail by 18. Dragic finds Winslow.
Hey, who's watching him?
Over Gordon. Well-placed jumper from the free throw line. And that's 12 points for Justice Winslow.
That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those.
And there's the foul. It goes on Jimmy Butler. That's his third foul of the game. Harden up top, covered by Winslow, and the dunk by Capella.
He's a high percentage scorer for a reason now. Capella, an alley-oop specialist.
And watch out, you don't bring the whole basket down on top of you, young fella.
I don't think he ever wanted to let go of the rim.
Well, you got to make that moment last. Enjoy it for as long as you can.
Here's Tucker. Johnson with the block. Butler passes to Dragic. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. Here's what the Houston Rockets schedule looks like. They'll be matching up against DeMar DeRozan and the San Antonio Spurs. And then on Tuesday, they'll go up against Russell Westbrook and the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Roof shots.
Free throw drops for Goran Dragic. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Rockets leading by 14. Paul is doubled. He kicks it to Capella. Back to Paul. They get a hand on it. 6 to shoot. And that one is hammered home.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
Butler with the steal. Outside Dragic. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Butler's got assist number 7 for him tonight.
And he's been the key for their offense with the way he shot the basketball.
Yeah, he's most certainly not the reason they're in the hole. I mean, his percentage has been outstanding.
And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And Butler just excellent at finding ways to get to the stripe, especially when he's near the basket.
Two shots.
Free throw, good Butler. And so he makes both from the line. Here's Paul. To the middle. And Tucker kicks to Capella. From 11 feet away. And the shot falls short this time. The Heat trail by 8. Outside Dragic. Butler from outside. The shot, no good. And the Rockets take it the other way. Earlier in the game, they held a 25-point lead. Offensive rebound. Capella with the bucket.
You know, Capella's really hard to deal with inside, especially inside. Does a nice job using his size to get that shot off.
Now here's Dragic. Johnson at the elbow. It's over Tucker. Here's Adebayo. That shot is off. Good work defensively by Capella. Near the three-point line, it's Gordon. And it's Miami with the rebound. To the paint. Winslow finds Butler. From down in the low post, it goes. Butler's got 30 points.
And you know, he's really been one of the few bright spots for them, trying to will this team to victory.
Good. And that's 13 points for Clint Capella.
And he's shaking off that slow start, giving them a boost here in the second.
On the wing, Johnson puts up a three. It's hauled in by Gordon. Houston leading by 10. From 15 feet away, and it falls over the rim and in. Paul's got 13 points here in the second half alone.
That is the quick decision-making of Chris Paul. Doesn't take a single dribble, just sees it and hits it.
Here's Butler. And that one is good.
And just great offensive execution by both sides, leaving nothing on the table.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Greg, both of these teams completely aligned, in sync right now. I mean, they are torching the Nets late in this ball game.
Paul can't get it to go. And it's Dragic with the ball for Miami. It's a 10-point game. Butler passes to Dragic. Releases. It's rebounded by Houston. Capella's got 11 rebounds in the game. In the corner, Harden. Rebound by the Heat. Winslow's got his fourth rebound with that last one here tonight.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
Inside, here's Capella, and the dunk by Capella.
And you might as well ride him, Kevin. When he's hot like that, feeling it, Capella needs to be ridden and ridden hard.
And the Heat call time here.
And he could tell his guys starting to wear down a little bit. Call time to just let them get their legs back under them.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, James Harden.
And it's been a ridiculous performance in the best sense possible. I mean, everything about his game has been working. And no matter what they've thrown at him, he's had the answer.
And this is exactly what a star player is supposed to do. Coming off a loss, he made sure they weren't going to make it 2 in a row. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, during that break, Eric Spoelstra had some words for his team. He said, "Do you want this game? Don't tell me about it. Show me and show your teammates. We've got to play better, and we've got to play harder if we're going to come back." Guys?
All right, thank you, David. And the basket is good. 34 points for Jimmy Butler.
Good-looking shot there from Butler, showing off the nice touch.
Timeout called, the Rockets.
And starting to send guys to the line way more than they need to. Let's get some good position defense going here. That should be the emphasis, and get away from the sloppy fouls.
And so it's Houston with it. 10-point lead. Paul for three. Buries it from three-point range. Paul's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Boy, this final period, they are putting up a ton of shots from deep.
And knocking down a bunch of them, too. Outstanding shooting in this fourth quarter.
Now, here's Butler. Down low. Johnson kicks to Winslow. That one a little long.
Yeah, that's just poor decision-making. He's got to be better in those situations.
Greg, I just think he was in a hurry. He flat out rushed it. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking there. He actually was in a brain-neutral position.
Chalk up 2 there.
Excellent assist there. Just led him to the perfect spot.
Rockets leading by 11. 1:22 left to play in the final quarter. Paul is doubled. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. And so here is Miami. Outside Dragic. Left side Butler. And out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession. Houston making a switch. Nene's checked in. .104 left in the fourth quarter. Houston's gone 4-7 with the long ball here in the fourth quarter.
And we'll just watch the clock wind down, guys, in what will turn out to be a win here for the Rockets.
On a given night, one or two guys might have the off night from the line, but today the team did a much better job with their free throws.
They didn't lose focus, and it made a difference.
And a milestone win for the season. This will push their victory total to 20 wins even.
And when you play a team twice like these two will this season, always nice to get a win in that first battle. They'll go up 1-0 in the season series against the Heat.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for James Harden.
And the sharing of the sugar, very impressive. I mean, he seemed to know exactly when to get the ball to his teammates.
They're in good position here to ride it out.
Certainly. If they just play smart, this game's over.
And with the time remaining, I'm just not seeing it.
Yeah, it would take a miracle for them to come back, in my mind, like Tracy McGrady against the Spurs type of heroics. A lot of points in a little bit of time.
He drops the first one, and that brings them to within 10. Both shots good from the stripe. 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and they can just let the clock run out here.
Cannot argue with the W.
And here is Green. So we see the Rockets get the win here. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road and win in the fashion they did, you have to feel good about it. Really an outstanding effort all the way around.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you very much with Kenneth Fareed. What was the key tonight?
Just keep attacking and keep playing strong. And, you know, my teammates, they believe in me. Just re-lock in and get focused and play my game.
Great team win tonight, Kenneth. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.